the Italian officials. Scotland on the left, and Rodney Marsh there, Alan Ball and Roy McFarland on the right for England. Martin Chivers, Peter Storey and Gordon Banks with Peter Lorimer of Scotland. Asa Hartford on the left, who played a magnificent game against Wales. Emlyn Hughes, the last man out for England. Both sides have been training some 30 or 40 miles outside Glasgow. Only getting to the stadium an hour ago, and now getting at last a chance to flex their muscles on the pitch. Although there were plans for a presentation indeed to the Lord Provost of Glasgow, John Mains, who only took office earlier this month. They're the Scottish side. Dennis Law, the man who has revolutionised Scottish football with his own magnetism over the last few months. Tommy Docherty put great store in him. And Dennis Law has certainly repaid his team manager. Meanwhile, the presentation's going along. The Lord Provost of Glasgow has been down the English side and now has to fight his way through that battery of cameramen in order for Billy Bremner to be introduced to him. Bobby Monk, who had such a marvellous game also against Wales. They're a big, strong side at the back, Scotland. Billy McNeill there as well, and Asa Hartford. England now, before the presentation of the Scots is completed, there's Peter Lorimer, have gone away to start their warm-up. Always a word there from Dennis Law, from Willie Donaghy. And Bobby Clark, the goalkeeper. Italian referee Sergio Gonella, and his two linesmen, Mr. Picasso and Mr. Trono. So the Scottish team, announced only an hour ago by manager Tommy Docherty. Brownlee and Donaghy back from the side that beat Wales, and two men who came on as substitutes start the game today. Lou Macari of Celtic and Asa Hartford of West Bromwich Albion. Tony Green is left out, and Asa Hartford, of course, who really was a tremendous success against Wales, the number 11, with so much positive running, transformed the game on the Scottish side. England, meanwhile, field the side. It's a rather cautious looking side, a lot of people say, and a negative side, announced by Alf Ramsey at lunchtime today. The side that started their second leg match against West Germany in Berlin. It's the old guard, if you like, back in action again. That powerful back four of Madeley, McFarland, Moore and Hughes that really will take some beating this afternoon. And back again to add such competitive bite is Alan Ball of Arsenal. Some players may fear the possibility of facing the Scots in this sort of mood in front of 134,000. Alan Ball will relish it. So we come to the exchange of the pennants. Billy Bremner with a horseshoe that obviously a fan has given him. And soon we shall be underway. marvellous shot right down the length of the mightiest stadium in Britain, Hampden Park. And for those of you watching in black and white, the Italian referee here has got a bright scarlet jumper on. Black shorts. Chivers has gone straight to the ball. It looks as though it'll be Scotland who won the toss. England who will have a gusting wind at their backs.
Come on, Scotland!
And so England, whether the referee is telling him, though, that in fact Bobby Moore won the toss and it's Scotland who've got to kick off. And it'll be Lou Macari, who showed when he came on for the first time in a Scotland shirt against Wales on Wednesday night that he is a fierce little competitor. It'll be the dark-haired Macari. And away we go. Scotland defending the goal to our left. In their dark blue shirts and white shorts, England in the white. Donachie, half stopped by Storey, and Madeley turning it now for Marsh. A dummy by Marsh, letting it run, but straight to Billy McNeill. Bremner, stopped again by Marsh, and Chivers off in chase with Moncur after him. Treading on the ball, losing touch, and what might have been a threat for Scotland is averted, and Billy Bremner. McFarland up well. Hughes towards Rodney Marsh, couldn't quite kill it, and Moncur gets it away. So Hughes got a knock on the head then, but now it's Lorimer, who scored in both the home internationals for Scotland. The curling one there towards Hartford, and Banks. McNeill. And now Brownlee, Lorimer. Asa Hartford, and Madeley in very quickly. Slightest mistake, and Madeley goes in so quickly there for England. Donachie of Manchester City. McFarland, but pushing there on Law. A bit of a tussle there between McFarland and Law. And Law being spoken to very early, and McFarland too by the referee. You remember maybe that Pat Craren was worried at lunchtime on the ball that Law might get involved if things got a bit hard. Gemmell to Donachie, finding an angle, and a good jump there again in the England defence, that time by Madeley. Moncur, Bremner, and Brownlee. Bremner. His man there, Hunter. And a throw to Scotland. Bremner to Lorimer. One Leeds man to another. And off Marsh for another Scottish throw. Peter Lorimer wanting Macari to come a little closer. And then throws a good long one. McFarland jumping for it, beating everybody in the air, and that included Hartford and his own teammate Norman Hunter. Brownlee crossing another one into the England penalty area. Banks! Very nearly let that one go, and is taking a fair bit of buffeting there from Macari and Law. But Banks, if anything, took that just a little casually, and that might have been a terrible mistake. I said Macari was a competitor. Archie Gemmell to Asa Hartford. Gemmell again, who was pulled off quite early in the game against Wales. And Hartford again for Scotland. Madeley denying him the shot, and McFarland getting it to ball. Chivers. Good ball there, laid off for a ball again. Hughes. Faced by Brownlee. Good counter-attacking by England. Colin Bell. A little too high for Chivers. Hunter on that trusty left foot, and offside given against Marsh. Brownlee back to Bobby Clark. Hunter towards Chivers, but under pressure from McNeil he can only nod it to Lorimer. Macari getting underneath this one, and McFarland keeping tight, and now Archie Gemmell again, cross there towards Law, and a goal kick to England. Chivers coming for this one, winning it well in the air, but in fact nodding it down towards Hartford, but a throw instead to Scotland. Willie Donaghy. Law coming towards it. And a foul by Law on Peter Storey. And it's going to be Moore to take it. Moncur. And he got it away the second time as far as Donaghy. McFarland again getting in before Law. McFarland already showing what a dominating number 5 he is and has been for England, but it's a throw to Scotland with Willie Donaghy. Again towards Law, but it's McFarland again there for England to Paul Madeley. Alan Ball. Marsh nodded nicely there, but McNeil was there for Scotland. Back with Bobby Clark. It's Macari's head that made contact there, and Hunter. Ball doing all sorts of tricks in the air, making life a bit hazardous and a bit difficult for the players. And here's Bremner now. Lorimer outside him, still with Bremner. And Moore judging the moment to perfection, but not as well as it seems, because he's been given a free kick against him. The Italian referee Gonello saying that Bobby Moore fouled Billy Bremner. Scotland's free kick. Moncur's right up, McNeil's right up. Lorimer wants to float one towards them. No, he's leaving it instead for Billy Bremner. The little chip, and they all go in, and McNeil gets ahead to it, but not powerfully enough, and was pushing in as he came. There's Billy McNeil. And although I said at the start that the wind was firmly behind England, it's so unpredictable that at the moment the flags are showing it well behind Scotland. Donaghy to Bremner. Challenged by his Leeds teammate Norman Hunter. And Ball coming in and taking it. An arrogant little flick there to Hughes. Donaghy. And Storey versus Bremner, a shuddering collision. And Hartford now, stopped by Bell. Madeley in, and Chivers in. Well, there's certainly no lacking in fire or bite so far about this game. With a little under 10 minutes gone and no score. Roy McFarland to Colin Bell. Back for Storey and planted forward to Chivers, trying to lay that off for Ball. McNeil and Brownlee. Lorimer. Forward for Brownlee, a good run by the full-back, and must be a free kick. Badly taken out of the play by Norman Hunter. And now with Brownlee off the field, by rights that game should go on. Jimmy Hill.
Well, I was just about to say that everybody appeared to be playing hard, but they were playing the ball, and that happened. We can pick it up now and see Brownlee as he finishes that tackle for Norman Hunter rolling on the ground there. But they're playing hard, they're playing furious. I'd like to see him keep playing the ball.
As it is then, a free kick to Scotland with Peter Lorimer. Hartford turning it through, but he couldn't find Macari. Madeley coming out, and Ball saying, leave it to me. Now with Madeley. Hunter. Getting some boos from the Hampden crowd for that tackle on Brownlee, who's now back on the field. McNeil, good with the air. Brownlee. And Law coming away from Moore, but he can only nod it into touch. England's throw. McNeil and Chivers having a battle to get there first, and Chivers must have been obstructing McNeil, and it's with Archie Gemmell to Lorimer. Still Lorimer with that thunderous shot, but that time he tried to get the cross in. Brownlee hitting one, and Lorimer banks. McNeil judging it well. Certainly if the wind is causing hazards for the men at the back when they've got to judge high balls, McNeil so far has shown no bother. Brownlee. Cross there towards Macari, stopped though by McFarland again. Bremner to Law. And now to Archie Gemmell. And another good looking cross towards Macari, but beating them all in the air. And a goal kick to England. Chivers beating Gemmell for that one, and Hughes coming up fast. Played forward for Bell, and then in turn for Hughes, who was running on. That was how they scored first against Wales last week. Chivers now taking it up for England and stopped by Moncur. Ball hopeful of keeping it in, but then taking the throw instead. Hughes. Ball between the legs of Lorimer to Hunter, played on quickly there towards Marsh, and Hunter going in, and Moncur once more getting it away. Madeley getting up well. Hughes once more. Played towards Chivers, and he's still got Marsh away on his left. Rodney Marsh, and Brownlee for Scotland. Chivers stopping him, Brownlee taking too much, and a wild kick there by Storey. Ball. Taking a little too long, Marsh. Also wanting rather a long time. Storey again. Ball. Bell. To Madeley. Played wide for Storey again. And in goes Gemmell, very definitely indeed, and went for the ball. Colin Bell. Miscued, and a goal kick to Scotland.
Feeling that the goalkeepers are going to play a part in this match. Obviously Scotland have an idea that they can worry Banks, and they're going to play to that if the referee will allow them, and in fact Gordon very nearly presented them with a goal just now through it can only be nerves.
Marsh chasing this one, Moncur calling Clark out. Brownlee, certainly a very casual and a very cool young fullback, and finding Bremner with a good ball there, and in turn to Archie Gemmell. Donaghy coming in fast for Scotland. And the cross there towards Law on the far side. Macari wanting a corner. And I think the referee was prepared to give them one, but the linesman also was saying no, it was a goal kick. Or maybe even a free kick. Yes, a free kick. Law climbing on somebody as he climbed for the ball. Banks, who has that habit of falling when he really hasn't been charged. But the Italian referee was fooled by it at any rate. And a free kick to Scotland, and if they take it quickly, England could be in trouble. Throw to Hunter. Bell. Gemmell quick to pounce on the slightest mistake. Hartford. And Moore getting in before Law. He could only get it as far as Bremner. Hartford again, who seems to be everywhere. Turned across and McFarland just about getting it away, but the whistle had gone. The clash between Bremner and Law. Has been shown the yellow card, which is a caution for Alan Ball for the foul on Billy Bremner.
Well, without any doubt, Alan Ball did go in late there. For me, he knew that Bremner was going to flick the ball forward, but he still committed himself to the tackle, went in afterwards. Here it is, coming up now. We can just see for ourselves. Good control there from Bremner. He's waiting for Ball's challenge, lays it off, and there's the foot through from the back. One could say it went through for the ball there, but on the other hand, it contacted the man as well.
Banks now for England. Marsh laying it off for Chivers. Marsh again. Storey nodding it through, and Moncur. Madeley. Hunter. Ball clashing with Macari. Hunter clashing with Bremner. No love lost there between the two Leeds United players, and Donachie being snapped at by Alan Ball. Hartford, England's free kick. Moore towards Chivers, and Chivers was pushed in the back by Bobby Moncur. A free kick to England, some 4 yards outside the Scottish penalty area. That's Moncur wanting the wall to line up. A little right of central. Clark in the Scottish goal, wanting a sight of the ball. That's the Scottish wall. Marsh, who might be up to any sort of trick. And McFarland coming in as well. Bell is also poised there. Somebody somewhere has got to take that free kick. It's going to be Rodney Marsh. But he hit it straight into the wall, and it's Storey to Madeley. Madeley, Marsh, his feet are very high. And Marsh is being hounded by the Scots. And Marsh, in fact, has been shown the yellow card. Was he being shown the yellow card? No. In fact, it was McNeil who has been shown the yellow card for pushing Marsh after the whistle had gone. And now Chivers. And he very nearly made that one go. Clark must have been outside his area. And in the din, one couldn't hear the whistle go. And that's a free kick for handball. Clark outside his area. And slowly the atmosphere and the volume and the tension are all being turned up as we come towards the 20-minute mark, and still no score. And the referee calling Bremner and Bobby Moore to him, the two captains. Jimmy Hill.
I wonder about the advisability of having an Italian referee for what is, after all, a domestic argument. Obviously, he is at some disadvantage in this match. Language is difficult. He's using signs. If he speaks English, it may not be quite good enough to get through plainly under this pressure. He's having difficulty. The players are not helping him, but let's hope it settles.
Chivers, and over the top. Well, I can't recall before an England-Scotland match, certainly there have been some rough and bruising ones in the past, where the two skippers have been called together like that. And that with only 20 minutes or so gone. Bobby Clark with the kick for Scotland. Not a goal kick, a free kick. Archie Gemmell. Storey and Gemmell fighting for it, and Gemmell taking a wild kick there at Storey, and Storey's being spoken to by the referee now. And the play goes on with Brownlee on the far side. Lorimer. And he's out of play. Hunter. McNeil. Makari winning it, Law winning it, Lorimer from that dangerous position of his from where he scored against Wales, but that time crowded out by Moore and McFarland. Still Moore. Hunter. Going down at the feet of Hartford. And certainly this looks at the moment as though it's going to be a tough and a very bruising contest. Day when so many people wanted football to be the winner. It's a pretty poor loser at the moment, but it's with Lou Makari now for Scotland to Jim Brownlee, John Brownlee, Billy Bremner, and Bell right back to nod it away for England. Moncur towards Makari, but Makari beaten by Bobby Moore. Hunter. Scotland's throw. So with 20 minutes gone, that's how we stand, without a goal. Across again, and once more Roy McFarland there. Volleyed through again, this time to Gordon Banks. Bell. To Ball. Gemmell. Fighting well, taking the return pass from Billy McNeil. Storey's gone down and picked himself up again as it comes through to Donaghy. On to Asa Hartford, but he couldn't stop it. And I think that one of the most unhealthy signs in this game is not what's going on the ball, but the little feuds and battles that are being carried on when the ball is 20, 30 and 40 yards away. Strong whistle there from the referee. The players looking puzzled, don't know what it's about, but Scotland have been given a free kick. And all signs is the referee, and Rodney Marsh was mimicking a fair number of them himself just then. Billy Bremner. Makari. Through to Lorimer. Oh, and Ben stopped him with his feet, and Lorimer tried again, and it's gone over for the corner.
Pickle there that they got themselves into. Lorimer was completely through. Banks gets it but puts it up in the air, and there's still a chance until he quickly hacks it away.
Hartford. And kicked away by Storey. Free kick then to Scotland. Donaghy, Storey, off the knees of Donaghy, Colin Bell, Chivers. At the moment, an unenviable afternoon for Chivers. So much of it coming in the air to him, and he's been so tightly marked by McNeil, who himself is so good in the air. Alan Ball. Swept wide, but straight to Brownlee. Forward to Lorimer. Law. Gemmell. Scotland looking much more together at the moment than England are. Donaghy. Bremner. Oh, tackle there by Hunter. referee is going to be consistent. He's got to show him the card as well. But he's not.
In fact, it is the second late tackle that we've seen like that from Norman Hunter. The other one you saw a moment ago in slow motion.
Lorimer now with a blockbuster. Through it goes. And that very nearly got through to Law. But the whistle had gone. Offside against Law. Madeley. That time Moncur getting in. Bell with England's throw. Madeley. Storey. First time towards Rodney Marsh. And another throw to England. This time Chivers coming across to take it. The man with the longest throw. Marsh making a run towards the near post, but it won't reach him at Madeley. Well, maybe he was caught in two minds whether he wanted to float it or whether he wanted to whack it. Hughes doing well, struggling to make up ground to get that one as it swirled in the air, but that ball won't go out of play. Brownlee for Scotland. Hunter, and now Gemmell. Donaghy. To Bobby Moncur. Law and Macari right up there, and it's Asa Hartford nodding it on again. Bobby Moore and Gordon Banks. Paul Madeley. Colin Bell, good control. Being snapped at by Macari, and Macari getting in there. A very strong tackle there by McNeil on ball. And England's free kick. Macari has... sorry, Jimmy.
I was saying the referee is obviously a man who believes in economy of movement as well. Unlike our referees, he tries to referee as much as possible from near the centre. Just a gentle run there, look.
Storey now, to Bell. Hunter, back for McFarland. Scotland have got everybody bar Dennis Law back. Chivers right in there. Rodney Marsh right in there. And a goal kick. It's a free kick to Scotland. Brownlee to Bremner. Brownlee and Lorimer. Law flicking it there for Hartford. A nice little flick by Hartford to Lorimer, and stopped though well by Colin Bell. And now it's with ball. Bell. Madeley's gone steaming down the right for him. That's the ball for Paul Madeley, but he'll be lucky to get to it. Flick back for Colin Bell again. Hit first time. And really no more than a yard and a half wide from Colin Bell. Well, the Scottish crowd in high hopes of a Scottish victory, and so far Scotland, if anything, have looked slightly the better side. Hunter, Bremner. Oh, he only put that as far as ball, and now Chivers back to Alan Ball again. Bell wanting it short and getting it. Chivers right through there, ball! And it's over the line, and a goal to England. Alan Ball is the man who scored it.
Well, here we see it now. It was a delicate little ball when it was laid off there. First time, and he sneaked through. There could be a question of offside there. It was a first time ball played, but it was suspiciously like offside. It must be very tight, but it's a goal, it's given, and England are one up, and there's the man who scored it.
So Alan Ball, who's been cautioned already in the game, sneaking in there to put England that decisive early goal ahead. Half an hour gone. Donaghy Play on, says the referee. Macari faced by McFarland. Moncur. And Storey in. Scotland's throw. Madeley, a long one forward. Donaghy. And now Paul Madeley. Moncur. Hughes. Chivers chased by Brownlee, but turning it off nicely again for Hughes. And there's Chivers again. Hughes, so little space out there, but he made the most of it and found Hunter. Moore, Hughes, and now Moore. For Rodney Marsh, a flick over his own head again towards Chivers. Bremner and Bell. Hunter right in there. Chivers in there too. And the Scots at the moment can't get a touch of the ball. Bell to Madeley. Storey. On indeed for Bell again, and Bell presenting it to Brownlee. And now with Donaghy. Macari. And McFarland giving the impression there that he went for the ball as much as the man. His aim was to hit the ball. And indeed a throw has been given and not a free kick. Well, Donaghy was prepared to accept the throw, but the linesman said no, and so it is a free kick, and here's Bobby Moncur to take it. Really not making the best possible use of it. So with something like 32 minutes gone now, England leading by Alan Ball's goal to 0. Banks with the kick for England. Archie Gemmell, Hunter, Bell and Storey. Ball. Madeley to Bell. Forward nicely first time, quickening the pace of it all, but it's a little too high for a ball and a little too far forward for Chivers. Goal scorer and the man he beat, Bobby Clark, with the goal kick for Scotland. Free kick to Scotland for the foul on Asa Hartford by Norman Hunter. Oh, well, the Scots are a bit upset about that one. Let me revise it then and say it was a foul by Asa Hartford on Norman Hunter. Referee loping off again as Bobby Moore takes the free kick. Chivers, but nodding it straight down to Archie Gemmell. Madeley, Storey, and Gemmell again. Nice little touch there for Donaghy. Storey blundering into the back of Macari, and it's with Gemmell again for Scotland. Hartford. Brownlee. Law and Lorimer over on the right for him. The ball to Dennis Law. And now Lorimer. And the other, play on, says the referee, and Hughes getting it away for England. Moncur, Gemmell, and Billy McNeil, Brownlee, and Scotland's throw. Brownlee. Asa Hartford turned nicely there first time. Macari letting it go. Macari again, and Moore coming to quickly enough to see the ball at his feet and getting it away to Madeley. Left for Alan Ball. Bell and Madeley again. Storey's come up to help him, but he presented it to Lorimer, And now Archie Gemmell. Hartford over on the right for him. Asa Hartford. Macari. Hartford going, flying to the dirt. Put there by Storey. And a free kick. Bremner having a few words with Hughes about something. I think the England players felt that Macari was playing a little bit of the old soldier there. But it certainly presents a danger for England, because lined up close to it for the touch-off is Peter Lorimer. Banks might well be caught into action now. Played in fact to Hartford. All English eyes were looking at Lorimer, the man with the powerful boot. And Scotland fooled us all, but Banks was not fooled by Hartford.
Just thinking of the point we made about Archie Gemmell before the match, he's settled down very well and he's showing no signs of lack of confidence, and neither of the crowd getting onto him at all. He's playing very well in the middle field, tackling strongly and passing.
But he was beaten in the air by Bell there. Ball to Storey. Madeley. That'll be Hartford. Bell going through, and now it'll be Bremner. Madeley. Moncur. Hartford. Law. And now Brownlee. Law. Bremner. To Brownlee. And Gemmell picking himself up well there for Scotland, turning it in again towards Macari. Pushed off there for Hartford. And a good flying tackle again by Roy McFarland. But it's Donaghy again for Scotland. And this time Moore getting England out of trouble. Moncur. Hartford. And Bell losing it to his Manchester City teammate Donaghy. Good skills there by Donaghy. Hartford. Macari. And McFarland putting it over indeed for a kick. Scotland's corner then as we come inside the last 10 minutes of the first half, with England still leading by a goal to nil, scored by Alan Ball. Moore waiting and watchful, Law looking for the chance, and here's the corner. A deep one from Lorimer. Law right up above the ball. McFarland getting up, and finally Marsh right back to help the clearance on its way. Lorimer, who takes a good corner and has done so for Scotland this afternoon. Moore getting on the end of it to nod it away. Marsh, a little too close and a little too delicate, and the Scots were attacking him, and Hartford missing his kick. Ball to Marsh. Inside, he tried to make it inside for Colin Bell. Bremner taking it up for Scotland again. Hartford, but Hunter coming away. Play to Chivers, what a good ball. But four Scots are back, and Chivers is really on the move. But stopped though by a combination of McNeil and Brownlee. That long stride of Chivers looked for a moment as though it might take him clear of the ball. There was a slap there by Billy McNeil, and it comes through from Ball to Hunter. And in turn for Bell, and he's offside. Brownlee for Scotland. Archie Gemmell, faced by Emlyn Hughes. Playing well there, Gemmell. Hartford making a little run for him, and Gemmell's crossed there, but straight into the arms of Gordon Banks. Madeley. To Ball. Touched nicely there for Chivers. And Chivers on again for Ball, back again for Chivers, and over on the left is Marsh if they saw him. Now Ball has seen him. Hunter going on the outside. And that's for Norman Hunter. And straight there to the arms of Brownlee when maybe it might have been pulled back for Bell or Chivers. That was a good rhythmic move by England, who've certainly looked a better side now that they've gone into the lead. Ball out of play for a throw to Scotland. Brownlee to Peter Lorimer. Hartford obstructed by Storey, and Hartford having a kick at Storey, and the referee's pulling his card out again. Now whether he's showing that to Hartford, is he? Yes, it must be to Hartford. So that's the third caution. Ball and McNeil getting the other two. Lorimer with the free kick for Scotland. McCarry putting it in, and Raw almost getting the touch. The whistle had gone, in fact. A foul by McCarry in the first place. Alan Ball. Chivers couldn't get to it. Storey lost it as well, and Bremner has found it. Raw. Brownlee. Bremner. Wanting Brownlee to go on. And Scotland's throw. Brownlee. And Bobby Moore there for England. Over Chivers' head and straight to Moncur. McCarry, in fact, threw himself at that ball and hit it, if anything, with his arm. Hunter. Still a few scything tackles going on out there, which do no credit to anybody. Chivers now. Past Moncur, but can he get past McNeil? A lot of English support now. 3 against 3. And there's the ball through for Bell, and he's onside. Oh, and he hit the post. That was a beautiful ball through for Colin Bell. Played for him to perfection there by Martin Chivers. Scotland thought offside, and it was never offside. And Bell against the outside of the post, and Scotland escaped. Ball, Hunter. Back for Hunter again, and running into trouble from Lorimer. Dennis Law. To Billy Bremner. Good ball there to Donaghy. Now Scotland coming forward in strength with Gemmell. Donaghy. Stopped a little fortuitously there by Colin Bell, but it's back with Moncur. Peter Storey for England. For the same one, Donaghy and Madeley, but it's Donaghy or Madeley who's been penalised, and Scotland's free kick with Archie Gemmell. Well, he ran into Madeley there and really couldn't have expected a free kick for it. McFarland to Alan Ball. We come to the last minute of the first half, and England leading by Alan Ball's goal. And Law. Lorimer again. Towards Willie Donaghy. And again McFarland, absolutely magnificent Roy McFarland at the back this afternoon for England. Brownlee, another deep one, over everybody's head, and a goal kick. So McFarland really has been a star to beat them all, really, in that England defence this afternoon. England have played well at the back. Well, that's for Chivers. Taking McNeil on the run. Bremner coming in. Still Chivers with that strength of his. Stopped in the end by Moncur as he drew his foot back. Donachie. Hunter. And a whistle gone. A free kick to Scotland for the foul by Hunter on Hartfield. Scotland, who started so promisingly, and England, who looked the better side since they scored. Towards Macari. Law is lurking there as well, but only nodding it off for Bell to find Hughes. Marsh making a run, and Bell had made a very, very strong run for that one, but Moncur should beat him to it. Goal kick. The wind at this moment very, very strongly behind England, and they've got to face it in the second half. They'll be very happy indeed to have got at least one goal with the wind at their backs. And that's the whistle for half-time in this home international match at Hampden Park, with the only goal of the first half coming from Alan Ball for England. There he is, the man who scored it. A nice little pass laid off and just beating goalkeeper Bobby Clark. So Scotland 0, England 1, that's the half-time score, and we'll be right back. The second half, the team's just coming back onto the field again. If you've just joined us, of course, England leading by 1-0 at half-time, scored by Alan Ball. No substitutes have been brought on so far. Of course, the teams are allowed a choice of 2 from 5. There are 2 Leeds United teammates, number 11 on the right of shot, just going out of shot, in fact, Norman Hunter, and number 7, Peter Lorimer, having a little chat before the battle. And really, in the first half, it has been, at times, rather an unsavoury battle. Commences again. On this side of the field, showing the wind firmly behind Scotland, the one on the far side firmly behind England. That's the sort of conditions we got here as England get us away again now, leading 1-0. Remember, Scotland wanting 1 point to take the championship. If England win here, they get a share of the championship. Law for Scotland. Bremner forward to Lorimer, and there's a fan on the field, and the referee's got to stop him. He came onto the field and threw a bunch of flowers at Norman Hunter. There he goes. And there he goes. And now we can get started again. Law, while Moore waited, Moore wasn't aware that Law was behind him. Lorimer. Asa Hartford. Jinking past Bell, playing a little 1-2 there. Hartford going on, and Moore getting it away for England. Good piece of running there by Hartford, and a good piece of interplay in that English penalty area by the Scots. Alan Ball now, getting more and more into trouble. And a corner given to Scotland. A sign for big Billy McNeil to come up. Although this time Bobby Moncur is staying back. Peter Lorimer again to take the corner for Scotland. Law being watched by McFarland. Swerving in again, and Law getting up above McFarland. And he must have been pushing it on his back, and the two of them having a bit of a shindig there as they pick themselves up. It's a goal kick to England. Marsh, a little lucky to get it through to Hunter. Chivers, Storey. Ball with Madeley away outside him. All played through nicely for Colin Bell and turned inside in one stroke there, but Moncur was there. Hunter now to Rodney Marsh. Trying to glide that through again towards Chivers and Bell, but the whistle had gone. McFarland again, a winner in the air. Saying at half-time, so many high balls going into that those Scottish strikers, and the England players are picking them all off at the moment. Macari lacking a little bit of in inches. Bobby Moore coming through and taking the ball on his knee. Moore for England to Marsh. Again a little lucky there, coming off Archie Gemmell, and now Marsh away. Storey steaming down the right. Chivers in the middle, and Bell making a good run too. Madeley. Still Madeley, and ball. Really make very much of that, but it looked very promising for England and very dangerous for Scotland. Great hush by comparison to what we have heard here, descending on Hampden as England came forward in such force. More back to backs. Paul Madeley. Storey, Chivers, finding Bell. Bell to Chivers, and back to Storey. First time towards Rodney Marsh. Chivers, onto that left foot. Well, the feeling amongst the panel is that Chivers here and Bell were really worrying Scotland towards the half-time whistle, and Chivers giving an indication there of his strength and running. Was always capable of taking him clear of the Scottish defence, but now it's Willie Donaghy. Madeley and Moncur letting it run through to Bobby Clark. McFarland, Storey. McFarland again to Madeley. Marsh. Inside again the ball, and now to Madeley. Marsh had gone on a run. Now he's coming back. Marsh again. To Madeley. The ball. Some good understanding here by England, the like of which we haven't seen for quite a little while. Storey crossing it again, but that's straight to Asa Hartford. Macari, Gemmell, Law. And Law really has got to lift his side now. Bell. McFarland. To Storey, Madeley. Storey to Moore. And forward to Bell. England playing really well at the moment as he turns it inside for Marsh. Marsh turning McNeil, and almost with a casual shot. And Willie Johnston, Jimmy Johnston, warming up for Scotland. From the Celtic half of the field. Hunter and Bell, very quick indeed, but it goes straight through to Brownlee, and now Asa Hartford. Moore gliding off the top of his head, and McFarland playing it safely back to Banks. Tommy Docherty, the team manager there, telling Jimmy Johnston just what he wants him to do. Macari. Macari still in possession, and now finding Brownlee. Macari. Across again there, beating them all, and Law wasn't far off it. Still telling his man what he wants him to do, and one of those popular little players in Glasgow, of course, Jimmy Johnston. Superb little artist. McFarland taking it neatly past Asa Hartford and finding Storey. Chivers versus Moncur, beating them both. Gemmell beaten there by Alan Ball. Colin Bell off on another of his runs. The little pass there for Norman Hunter. Being hacked at by Brownlee when that ball had well gone. Ball again to Hunter. Taking a long time to get Jimmy Johnston on. Storey. Moncur. And England's throw, and surely the referee now will allow Johnston to come on. He's got his back to him. The linesman flagging, trying to tell the referee what it's all about, and at last the referee has turned round and seen that Jimmy Johnston wants to come on, and it's Archie Gemmell who was pulled off against Wales. A shake of the hands, no animosity from Gemmell that he's being called off. And Johnston who's coming on. Madeley to Bell. Storey over on the right. Johnston immediately coming over towards this white touchline and going down in his best loved position along the wing. McNeil, Donaghy, going well. Bell getting in though for England. Chivers trying to hold off Moncur, and in fact having a snap at Moncur as the gain after the ball had gone. Hunter, Marsh. Free kick to England. Well, Bodie's given it to Scotland. Now Johnston. Well, he gave it straight away to Colin Bell. That was one of the things I would have thought that Tom... We're with Hughes. Played for Bell again, who's coming forward more and more and making good runs for England, but that was straight to his Manchester City teammates Donaghy. The flick by Hartford to Lorimer. The feet were high by Hunter. Bremner now, a little Leeds United triangle there. Bremner being tackled by Ball, but unfairly, and a free kick to Scotland. Hartford is going to take it and plays it wide for Brownlee, who couldn't keep it in. Now Bell. Storey wanting it over on the right, but it'll be cut out by Donaghy. Madeley. Now it does come through to Storey, and he's got Marsh ahead of him. Hunter. Forward to Chivers. McNeil to Asa Hartford. Cutting it nicely inside Hunter and then beating Ball to Johnson. That's two touches of the ball Johnson's had, and both times he's given them to England. This time to Alan Ball, to Chivers. The strength but not quite the pace to get past his man Colin Bell, and a corner to England. Flicking off a Scottish player.
Scotland might miss Archie Gemmell in the middle of the field now, although Jimmy Johnston needs to inspire them. They do need some inspiration. They seem to have lost the fight and fire they had in the first half, but they'll miss Gemmell in the middle of the field.
Chivers jockeying for position. McFarland is right in there as well for England, and that's going towards Roy McFarland. Colin Bell turning it back again, and McNeil getting it away to Lou Macari. Storey, Ball, and Storey again, and Hughes. At this moment England looking well in control. Hunter, Ball, always a man free at the moment for England. Still Ball through the legs of Jimmy Johnston, the final indignity on the little man. And Ball laughing his head off as he did it. Hunter. Which Chivers will take. Bell and Marsh are in the 6-yard area. And Bell getting in with his head. Hunter turning it back again. And that must have been behind when Bobby Clark hit it. Or rather when it hit Clark, because the goal kick did it. And Donachie now for Scotland. Coming up to a quarter of an hour, the second half gone. And still England leading by a goal to nil. Makari to Johnston, two Celtic players there. Cutting inside Emlyn Hughes, and then allowing Hunter to come in and find Alan Ball. And Chivers. Straight at Marsh, play on, says the referee, and it's with Alan Ball. And Marsh is all right, he's onside, and so too is Chivers. But Moncur coming across again for Scotland. Brownlee come close to somebody, he says, and so he has to lift a high one, and in fact it finds Dennis Law. Good strong challenge though by McFarland, and Storey back to Banks. Storey. Donachie. Jimmy Johnston. And again Hunter through. Johnston deliberated, and it's Marsh trying to get it through, and Brownlee a rather slack back pass there to Bobby Clark. Moncur. McFarland. Donachie. And the whistle had gone for the foul by Bell on Willie Donachie. Oh, and Storey having a little flare up there, and it carries on. And they're really giving each other a bit of their tongue as they ran back. Free kick then to Scotland. Donachie with it. McFarland in the air. Hartford trying to get a 1-2 going in that England penalty area. Brownlee. Donachie. First time there towards Asa Hartford. Not it on for Dennis Law. And a marvellous piece of defence there by McFarland. Makari over his head. Law knocking it down. No! Wrecking up the line by Emlyn Hughes. Two very narrow squeaks there for England. One, a great piece of defence by McFarland. And then a save on the line by Hughes. Law going in again. And Hartford. And there's some pushing and pummeling on the floor there as McFarland and Law pick themselves up.
In fact, England, I think, have trapped themselves. Now, there you can see that in slow motion. It's beaten Banks, but it's a good save on the line there by Hughes and hacked away to safety. But it was England's casual approach to things. We see it as it goes on. The Scots now thinking perhaps that they might be able to get this equalising goal, and I think have put themselves into a silly position because they've been casual, they've been on top of the game without turning it into a goal. And that casualness showed in defence there. And it's a game that if they had the killer instinct, I think they should have wrapped up in the last quarter of an hour. That's a lesson to them, because the Scots, as long as there's only one goal in it, are going to keep fighting to sneak that one goal, which will give them the championship outright.
Maybe, Dewey, they needed a scare like that in the same way that they dominated so much of it at Wales last week and were just this slender one goal up. Wales very nearly equalised, and England came straight back and scored two in a minute, as though frightened, and maybe that will scare them now. Norman Hunter waving his fist at fellow teammates, asking for more effort. Brownlee, back to Clark. And Bell misunderstood each other's intentions there, and Law, McFarland playing it back to Nakari, and a fine smother save by Banks. Put into a dreadful predicament there by McFarland. There we come with a back pass, and Makari was on it, and a superb smother save by Banks. The corner now with Johnston, and Banks gathering it well. And as Jimmy was saying a moment ago, the casualness of the England defence and the England side as a whole has really shown up again there. They've really got to get a grips with themselves and realise that 1-0 is not enough. Bell now to Marsh. A lot of Scottish defenders are back. Trying to get McNeil one way. Bell on the turn, played nicely there for Ball and played in again towards Bell. Moncur for Scotland. McFarland. I can't imagine he'll take any chances with the back pass this time. Hartford. Law. Played nicely there for Donaghy. And out of the scrimmage it comes to Norman Hunter. Alan Ball to Colin Bell. And now to Ball again with Marsh over on the left. Marsh faced by Brownlee. Bell has gone off on a run, onside and beautifully timed. But so too was Clark's rush out from his line. Brownlee. Donaghy. Lifted forward towards Law. And a throw given to Scotland. Asa Hartford. To Jimmy Johnston. Played on nicely for Hartford, hitting it, and a deflection off McFarland and a marvellous save by Banks. Well, Chivers, Ball, and England, who looked in such command just after half-time, really are sweating a little bit at the moment. Hartford playing some good telling balls through there, Hartford particularly. And it's Lorimer now. Bremner's gone right up, and Johnston is up there too. Still with Lorimer. Floating again towards Jimmy Johnston and the fist of Banks. Ball. Storey. To Marsh. Well, Law is likely to be beaten by Brownlee there. And Ball is really giving Marsh a piece of his mind. Hughes. Hughes again, this time to Bobby Moore. Towards Martin Chivers, and Moncur has played him well, but he played him unfairly there, says the referee from Italy. And a free kick to England. So that's how we stand with 20 minutes of the second half gone. 25 minutes to go. Scotland 0, England 1. The scorer, Alan Ball. Colin Bell. Marsh. To Ball. And it ran to Donaghy. McFarland. Madeley. Storey. Billy Bremner cutting that one out. Moore on his body. Obstructed by Macari, but he went through. Moncur to Brownlee. Hartford. Catching the back of Hughes' heels. Bell. Forward in the hope of getting Lorimer away. Ball. Storey. Not a good ball. And it's with Peter Lorimer now for Scotland as Law goes racing in. And Moore had gone every stride with him. Ball. Bell. Played for Ball again. And Scotland commit themselves as they must. There might be just a few gaps opening up for England. Alan Ball. Marsh coming in from the far post. 1-2 with Chivers, and it won't come off this time because Moncur plays it back to Clark. Jimmy Johnston. In comes Bell, and now it's with Hunter. Certainly Jimmy Johnston hasn't had the best of luck or very much impact since he came on. Brownlee. To Bremner. There's Johnston again, this time getting past Hunter beautifully. And now stretching his legs, but far too far ahead of Lorimer. Donaghy, Moncur, and Hunter above them all. Bremner nodding it on powerfully, but straight to Bobby Moore. Chivers to Bell. And there's Ball away again for England. Played on nicely for Chivers, into his stride. And on the far side is Marsh, but the goalkeeper Clark was down. Having struck a little more swiftly, it might just have escaped Clark for Marsh. Instead of it's Brownlee now. Madeley for England. Billy McNeil. And now Donaghy. Moore. And a free kick given to Scotland. It can hardly be more central. It's no more than 6 or 7 yards outside that 18-yard area, say 25 yards from the English goal. Gordon backs in the centre of it. The English wall not 10 yards back by any means, and being told to go back by the Italian referee. This almost certainly is going to be the fearsome Peter Lorimer. The wall, I would think, at the most 8 yards back. I don't know who's going to take it, but I think it must be a fair bet that Lorimer's going to have something to do with it. Lorimer against the wall. Moncur. Donaghy. Crossed again there, that must be Gordon Banks. Madeley for England. Too high for Chivers, but not for Moncur. Bobby Moncur again. Being very solid and dependable at the back for Scotland, this big number 6. Law. McNeil. And Marsh coming in. He couldn't hear him coming up behind him in this wind. Rodney Marsh then. To Emlyn Hughes. And hitting one just over. Pushed there by Clark. He said, because he knew there wasn't very much to spare for Scotland there, and Clark timing his jump so well.
There it is, a fierce shot off Hughes' right foot, and it really shows the drought of shots that there have been from England, even though we've had so much superiority. There isn't any bite, and if we're not careful, we'll play for it.
But Alan Ball then with England's corner, for which Roy McFarland has gone up again. Marsh getting in there with his head, but knocking it the wrong way. Brownlee to Lorimer, and Scotland coming away, the blue shirt streaking forward again. Played for Law. Lorimer. And Bremner on the far side, Madeley timing that interception well. McNeil, Donaghy. And Madeley cutting that one out. And really little chance of getting to Macari, and now it's with Ball. Chivers. Marsh completely unmarked over on the left, and Bell has spotted him. What a good ball. Played almost without looking by Colin Bell to Marsh. And now for Colin Bell to line one up, and it's saved by Clark, and it looked for us a moment as though it might go through.
Very good save, because in fact he's a left-handed goalkeeper, and that ball was hit hard low to his right hand. There it is. He was half going the wrong way, and a fine save there from Clark to keep it out.
Scotland with another substitute, Tony Green. England's corner, and Clark getting it well. to Donaghy. Dennis Law. And Donaghy again into Law. Lorimer. Hunter coming across to challenge. And Hunter blocking him. And finding Chivers. Played for Marsh, and Marsh well onside, played there by Moncur. England's throw. Hughes. Hunter. Hughes again through the legs of Lorimer. Hunter again. And a throw to Scotland. And Scotland now wanting to bring on Tony Green. And who can it be coming off? It's Willie Donaghy, the number 3 who's coming off.
That seems to be an extraordinary tactic. I mean, Donaghy has played as a full-back and in fact has played very well indeed. A very promising young player. A lovely touch on the ball. He used it brilliantly from behind. But is Doherty going to throw everything now into attack and leave just a few defenders back or himself without a full? It looks as if Moncur's moved across there in that position on the ball now.
Moncur. And now Law, but no power whatsoever. Scotland, who played without fullbacks against Wales earlier this week and really had basically 3 men at the back and threw a lot of men forward, knowing that Wales would probably come and defend. Now seem to be adopting roughly the same sort of thing now, with Green. They're trying to pick up Alan Ball, flicked off nicely there, but it won't quite reach Bell because Bremner was in before him. Moncur. Tony Green. Hunter. So Scotland have used both their substitutes, Jimmy Johnston and Tony Green, both on. England so far have not used one. Bell. Hunter. Ball. And now Hughes. Marsh lingering outside him. Here's Rodney Marsh, a flick in again for Emlyn Hughes. Ball with Storey way beyond him. Storey now. Hit well there towards Norman Hunter, right in there. Marsh almost getting that well on the volley, but somebody was offside. No, there was in fact an infringement there by Hunter. Hartford. And Hartford again, showing a lot of determination, but Moore was on the end of it for England. Clark. A throw to Moncur. Just under a quarter of an hour to go now. And England still leading 1-0. Makari coming away from McFarland and finding Jimmy Johnston. Finding Lorimer. And now Green. Getting his shot in, and Banks changing direction well to pick it up. Not a good throw though, and again the Banks poor throwing. Brownley's shot, and off the hands, the fingertips of Banks perhaps. No, says the referee. No, says the linesman. And a goal kick to England. Storey going down there at the hands and the feet of Hartford. Really has been a lot of bad feeling in various quarters of this game, which, as I said before half-time, really does no credit to anybody. Lorimer. Brownlee, Marsh coming back there to take the ball off him, but gives Scotland the throw. Green. Pushed off the ball there by Alan Ball, and a free kick to Scotland. Bremner to take the free kick. Moncur's made a late run there for Scotland, but that must be the ball for Gordon. Banks the fist! As far as Green. And a goal kick. 12 minutes now to go.
speaking of Gordon Banks from an edgy start in this game, where he nearly presented the Scots with a goal, has made 2 or 3 fine saves, really, showing what a class keeper is. But he's still shown that bad habit of throwing possession away from his hands and creating chances for the Scots.
Now it's with Rodney Marsh for England. England's throw. 11 minutes when we must ask the question, can Scotland pile everything in to find this equaliser? Can England hold them out and deny Scotland an outright win in the championship? Hunter to Marsh. Played on again for Norman Hunter. Through the legs of Brownlee, and Brownlee half-stopped, Hunter going across, and Storey couldn't quite get in as we wanted to. To Scotland. And another throw to Scotland. Bremner. And now ball. Marsh. To Hunter. Ball to Marsh, a nice little 1-2 there for Alan Ball again, and Madeley's coming up fast on the right. To Colin Bell. And off the body of Moncur for a throw to England. Chivers has gone that way, or is going that way, but Madeley is beating him to it, the number 2. I think he'll probably leave it for Martin Chivers to throw that long one of his. Straight into the arms of Clark, and the throw that takes a hard foot on his way. Lorimer. Oh, Macari leaving it well for Law, and a corner to Scotland. Law, who in odd moments has looked so very dangerous there, and Macari left that ball beautifully for him. But there we stand now with 10 minutes left, and England still a goal ahead. Lorimer with the corner again for Scotland. And again a deep one, McNeil trying to get to it. And a bit of buffeting there by Billy McNeil on an England defender. And a free kick to England.
Paul Madeley, just throwing the ball in there, has had a series of very good games for England. Quietly, not as flamboyantly as Emlyn Hughes on the other flank, but nevertheless a most successful performance. Johnston. Bremner. Now Norman Hunter for England. Chased by his Leeds teammate and the Newcastle man, Bobby Moncur for Scotland, but still Hunter going on, running out of space. But as sure as eggs, there's a man there available for him. This time Storey to cross one towards Marsh, but Bobby Clark gathering well, and the throw out to Brownlee. It's got to be urgency now for Scotland, with every second being made to count. But Bell now for England. Played for Marsh with space ahead of him. But he could have taken that a lot closer. And Bell is furious with his Manchester City teammate for not playing it back to him. Hughes to Hunter. Scotland at the moment looking just a little dispirited, or are they waiting to summon one last big effort to get this equaliser? Chivers, still Chivers, crossed again there, ball, will he get in? And a free kick given to Scotland, most inexplicably, because if anything, it was a handball by a Scottish player in that penalty area. And Ball is pointing to the referee and saying it wasn't me that handled it, but Billy Bremner. But the referee's given the free kick to Scotland. With Brownlee, McFarland, Hunter, Bell. Oh, what a good ball there, and Chivers making the run. In fact, it wasn't quite as good as I thought it was. The angle deceived me a bit there. But Chivers finding Hughes. Marsh, the ball, who really has been in on everything. Malcolm
MacDonald is warming up for England. Lorimer. Long ball over to the far side and Madeley. And away goes Paul Madeley. He's shaken off Law. But he couldn't shake off Moncur. In a word, Jimmy Hill, who do you think Sir Alf will take on?
I think it'll be Rodney Marsh, because we just haven't had that snap up front. And Rodney showed it there with that last shot, and he's not quite been on the form he was in the Wales match.
Hartford now for Scotland. And Storey at the end of it, but he was looking around for a man and he didn't see Macari. Johnston. Green. Crossed in again, and ball for England, playing the short one very effectively there to Emlyn Hughes. A long, long way without the slightest challenge from Scotland. Played for Chivers. The Scots pushing out more and more and being stretched a lot at the back. Bobby Moore's right up there as well. Hughes, and here is Moore. And Moore is given offside. Referee having his attention drawn by a linesman to the fact that Malcolm MacDonald wants to come on. And indeed, Jimmy Hill was right. It's Rodney Marsh who is coming on. Real hero against Wales last week at Cardiff, not quite pulling it off today.
Just thinking, I've never seen so much space in an international defence for years. England have got space to spare up there at the moment and they can't turn it into a goal. Is it a chance for MacDonald to do something there?
Well, MacDonald has got 5 minutes left in which to do it. England still leading a goal to nil. McFarland. And now Chivers. Bell on the far side. MacDonald's making a run. And Chivers with a head just wide. Jumping up and down Martin Chivers, the number 9 on the far side. In frustration and maybe a little anger that he felt that was going in. A good cross there towards the near post, the famous old near post cross. And Chivers no more than a couple of inches wide of the post. Bell. The referee saying that Bell was calling for the ball, which proves that he must speak English, and he's given a free kick to Scotland. 4 minutes now to go. Can Scotland get the equaliser, or will England be punished for not taking the chances that they might have taken? Moncur now. Macari coming away from Moore. Green right in there. Off the back of Bobby Moore that time. Moore reacting quickly. And the little chip pass there to Colin Bell. The long one forward for MacDonald to chase. And Billy McNeill is going with it. 3 Scottish defenders are back. 2 English forwards are on. And a free kick to England. So Alf, who loves to beat the Scots, well pleased there now. You don't often see him react. There he was out of the dugout to give an order to England. Martin Peters on the far side of him and Harold Chipperson on this side. And the cross again to Chivers, and the whistle had gone. Hunter. And Madeley. Hunter again. Again, enormous space out there, this time for MacDonald, with Moore going on outside him onto that left peg of MacDonald and not hitting it as he usually does. And the throw to Brownlee. On my watch, 3 minutes to go. Tony Green, a little shuffle of the quick ball through there to Hartford, and Moore beaten there by Jimmy Johnston. And now Lorimer, just as Lorimer was getting that deadly right foot ready for the shot. The sun coming out strongly again, and Scotland now with a little over 2 minutes left to pull an equaliser out of this game. Jimmy Johnston, stopped that time by Ball. Hunter forward now for Bell. And again, this man of amazing energy, stopped though that time by Brownlee. And now Tony Green. And a goal kick. And that ball exactly 2 minutes left. Gordon Banks with the goal kick for England. Moncur to nod it back for Scotland to Tony Green. Jimmy Johnston, can he pull a little bit of magic out in these last remaining seconds? Going one way, going the other, faced by Colin Bell, and obstructed by Colin Bell, and a free kick to Scotland. A minute and a quarter left, and Scotland needing a draw for the championship. Moncur to take the free kick for them. Flicked in again, and for once, McFarland was beat, but Hughes came to England's rescue. Moncur nodding it back, Bobby Moore away. Ball to Bell, and Hughes, the man of tremendous energy as well. Played there against the heels of Willie McNeil, and it's with MacDonald. Hughes. We are now in the last minute. Bell is right up there as well, being shadowed by Bremner though. Alan Ball. Macari coming back, and Bell right in there, and the whistle had gone. Well, petulance throwing that ball away there, and then running past the referee who was trying to have words with him. The referee looking hard at his watch now. On my watch there's 20 seconds to go, plus injury time. Lorimer the nod on, McFarland the nod away, Bremner, Macari to Lorimer. Deep in that English half again, and this time Bobby Moore on his chest, and finding Emlyn Hughes, who'll want to plant a long one clear. Round his header, and that's fallen for MacDonald. Making up his mind and then firing wide. He made up his mind to have a go. He looked across to see Chivers, and Chivers in fact was shadowed by McNeil. And we're well into injury time now. Clark with the kick for Scotland. Tony Green, Hunter, and the final whistle has gone, and Scotland have been denied the championship outright. They get a share of it with England, and perhaps with Ireland tonight, if Ireland can beat Wales in Wrexham. The only goal of the game coming from Alan Ball in the first half, and a scrambled goal it was. England with so much space to make chances count in the second half, and really they didn't. And one or two casual moments in defence very nearly cost him the game. McFarland making one great defensive save, Hughes pressing one off the line, and a marvellous save, smother save as well by Gordon Banks. So Alf delighted with his team, I've no doubt, because they fought well and they played well. So we have a final scoreline at Hampden Park. So Alf last in almost. It reads Scotland 0, England 1. Let's get the verdict now of the panel.